Here we go. All right, let's start the event up officially. Here we go. We're going live for another episode of the EOS Fireside Chat. Welcome, CAC, Dwayne, Yana on the production tables, Blind Flash, Mark's there of Tippet, and Yves Larose so far joining us. Oh, Dimitri joining us on time. What's up, Dimitri?
Hey.
Glad you can make it after all. I hope you've reduced the number of fires you're dealing with compared to this morning.
No comment.
No comment. All right. We'll get to your Pomelo pitch fairly quickly. I'm thinking in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
We'll get with the Pomelo pitch. Welcome to everyone joining. Biao, Sescam, of course, always with us. Daniel Keys, Danish Crypto, Denny Rocket Ship, Dogman, Whitcomb, Hernan also here. He's going to be presenting his Pomelo pitch as well. So we've got both Dimitri and Hernan that are going to be presenting today. What's up? Hello. Jason11, thanks for joining. Jay Taylor, Kent, what's up? I forget how to, I'm not even going to attempt this name. Yeah. Artist from EOS Detroit, what's up? Tony, Veronica, Zack in the house. Up to 25
Howdy.
people. So yeah, we're gonna give it a few more minutes. If you guys want to say hi, share a little bit of stuff that's happening in your world, go ahead. And then yeah, at around 3:05, we'll start with the Pomelo pitch sessions.
A question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Not the greatest quality, but we can hear you.
Okay. Is there a specific text chat that goes with the Fireside chat?
There is. It's called Stream Chat, and it's just a few channels above this voice chat channel.
Thank you.
And then in there, you can write your EOS account name with the money sign in front of it and sign up for the pop tokens for the day. And that's also where we're going to be sharing some links, giving extra context, etc. Welcome, Chris. Aaron, thanks for joining.
Yo.
Hey, how about some Pearl Jam instead of the waiting room music, background music?
I'm going conservative with the music today. I got scared we'll get some strikes on our channels if we use such music. Stokes, welcome. Woodmang. So pretty exciting week in the EOS community. Of course, we've got the Pomelo launch that's going on. So submissions are open as of yesterday. So feel free to browse on over to pomelo.io to either submit a submission of your own or perhaps check out some of the submissions for season 2 that have already been uploaded. I know Daniel Keys and the Pomelo team are very busy checking all the submissions that have been coming in. Some are under review, some might be approved. And Yeah, maybe Daniel, if you want to just speak for maybe a minute about so far how the submission process has been going on.
Hey, so far it's going great. We got a lot of activity. Let me pull up my board here and see how many submissions we've got in. I've got right now 21 sitting in my pending queue that I haven't had a chance to look at yet. 3 in progress. 13 that I am ready to approve, just waiting to get a second set of eyes on them from our team to confirm that they're good. A couple that will be require some additional action, and 3 that will be declined. So it's quite a lot already just in the first day. We've got a lot. I think we've got 14 or so that are returning grants from season 1, and the rest of those are all brand new grants.
Those are some great numbers.
Yeah, we're super excited.
That's awesome. Okay, so for those of you who have grants and would like to promote them to the community, we've set up some pitch sessions for you guys. So here on the Fireside chat, we'll be hearing 2 pitch sessions per Fireside chat. But there's also other venues where you can go and pitch your grant to the EOS community. So Generios is hosting a series of YouTube videos for people who want to pitch their grant. And in these Fireside chats, we're going to be trying to limit the pitches to about 5 minutes and maybe about 10 minutes of questions if the community has some. Whereas on the Generios videos, the groups are going to be able to go in further detail. And then we also going to be hosting some events on Tencent Video, which is on WeChat, which is more aimed for the Chinese community, for people who want to promote their grants there. So on Tencent Video, the language can be either English or Chinese. For those who are speaking English, we'll have some translators translating to Chinese. And for the Fireside and Generios, we're going with English. So we can get into it at this point. So I'm going to invite Dimitri of Bountyblok to take the mic here and explain a little bit about his grant.
Hi guys, my name is Dimitri. I'm the co-founder of Bountyblok. As some of you might know right by now, we have quite a popular distribution tool for NFTs on different chains. It's quite popular on Wax. And when we received the recognition grant last November, we decided to actually spend some of the money and bring on the tool on EOS. It's been live. There's a bunch of projects that have been using it. But at the time, we only brought a limited set of features on the EOS on the EOS blockchain. So now we noticed in the last couple of weeks and even recently some demand of certain specific features, and those features for us to bring them over require some additional infrastructure and development. On a high level, I will go over the features. So basically, like right now, if you want to know, if you want to, reward users for completing an entire set of cards or NFTs, or if you want to reward users for obtaining all the all the blue cards, or all the or if you complete all the uncommon cards, very unique, specific to the attributes of the NFTs. There's no way to do it right now. Because the Atomic Assets API, it's limited to what you can query. So the way we do it on other chains is we actually have to have our own Atomic Assets database. We need a ship node on EOS mainnet. And from there, this will allow us to fill the database with the data, all NFT data, allowing us to come up with these custom SQL queries to be able to achieve this. So another popular one is the staking. A lot of projects, they like GameFi, DeFi, they stake their NFTs to a project smart contract, but then the project owners can't really reward them because they don't really hold the NFT anymore. So there's no way to know if you feel like you're the owner of the NFT, but the thing is, it's not in your account, so there's no way to know. But with this database, we actually have certain algorithm and certain queries that we basically track like the transfers. Like we know there was a transaction between this account to this account. So we have this kind of system already in place that we can bring over to EOS, allowing us to know that you are actually the holder. I'm trying to keep this really short. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Thanks for that quick overview.
And just to note that we are a user of Bountyblok, and I know Steph uses it many times. So I think without Bountyblok, we wouldn't be doing some of these. I think even the pop token, isn't it using?
It's all using Bountyblok.
There you go. We're using Bountyblok for the pop token. So there's a lot of utility in this.
I mean, I have to say, I appreciate that a lot, Dennis. I have to say that, I mean, Stefan, he's like the last 2 years, he's been such a power user, and him alone, he came up with a lot of like use cases and ideas. Like we have a group together, just me and him, and just coming up with all kinds of use cases. So for sure, we're extremely super grateful with Stefan alone, his all his ideas and use cases.
I'm sure there was some influence. I'm sure I've had some influence on those ideas and those requests.
For sure, and it's great to have a team as responsive as Bountyblok.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I'm like, hey, can you add this? And a few days later, it's like, boom, there you go, Steph. Try it out. Let me know if it works. So it's been great. How much? So I imagine so I've got a few questions actually to start off the question period. Is there a set amount that you're hoping to raise through this grant in order to be able to add these additional features that you've mentioned to the Bountyblok drop tool on EOS? And is there a plan depending on if you go above or below such a target, if even a target like that exists?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So it's kind of tricky, but I'll do my best to answer. So what's involved for these features, basically, so we need infrastructure for sure, but then from there, once we set up and we have the data and the ship node and all that stuff, then we have part of the costs are the maintenance, and like if EOS and just in general, like you can't just set it up and forget about it. You have to always like maintain and update and upgrade and all that stuff. So what we did was we came up with like quite a fair amount that covers, let's say, a 12-month period per se, which includes the infrastructure costs, support maintenance costs, and additionally covers the development cost of adding these features and integrating on the website and the web app, as well as the support, because there's a lot of support involved, meaning that we get DMs and people messaging us. We sometimes have to hold their hand and help them do their first, let's say, airdrop or promotional campaign. So there's a lot of those little things that add up to the cost. And the amount we came up with was $100,000 in over a year. But we decided to just, for now, break it up into over a season. And that's what for this season, our proposal, we're going to submit for an amount of 25,000 USD and kind of do it that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Absolutely. And this is a question that I'll be asking a lot of the grants here that come on. What are their plans for how much they're intending to raise, and what will they do if they don't reach that target or if they overshoot that target? So what if you raise 15,000 in this season? Do you have an idea of what that would allow you to do, or your plan in that scenario?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the tricky part about this is the initial cost of initially, setting up the infrastructure and everything. So there's a minimum amount that we would need. I don't have the number right now in front of me, but there is an amount that is kind of like a make or break. But if we have a minimum amount covered, then and we don't have all, then we can just maybe not do all the features for now and add them. Maybe prioritize which features we'll add afterwards. You know what I mean? And then kind of take it from there. We don't need, we don't need from day one to have all the features. We already have a good idea which are the ones people asked us for, so we could maybe prioritize and remove some of the features, maybe in this season, and then and we take it from there. Sometimes the thing is, what we end up doing is we end up just kind of doing them anyways. It's kind of weird, because it's tricky, because if we don't do a feature, then the other version of the site has it, and then it just makes it even harder for us to maintain. So it's kind of easier sometimes, depending on the feature, just do it anyways. That way the maintenance is kind of smoother on the development side. Yeah.
Denny keeps reminding me of the maintenance cost associated to all my NFT ideas.
It's very undervalued. There's so much support, and I know I feel your pain there, Dimitri. I could just see the amount of support that you need to do, and sometimes it's not under consideration. So it's good that you know that, and it's very fair to put that in the proposal.
I appreciate that.
So Dimitri, you don't have the numbers in front of you, but can you give a general idea of that minimal cost that you're talking about? Is it closer to $1,000, $5,000, $10,000? Because Steph mentioned 15, but do you have a general sense of where that is?
I think maybe 10 to probably 10,000 a minimum is enough to at least get it going. Setting up, getting the server, setting up the infrastructure, and kind of like adding at least one of the features, especially one specifically that we know that we've been asked for on EOS. We'd like to add it, and once it's there, I feel like others are could benefit from. So I would say maybe right now, real quick to you, probably at least 10,000 seems kind of fair.
All right, so I'll re-ask Steph's question. What happens if you get $8,000?
We'll see what happens.
You should have seen that coming.
I think we've.
8,000 means that I don't know.
8,000 means that you can't get the minimum. So what would you do with the 8,000 if you only get that? Because I think that's the question, really.
And ask about the follow-up funding with the ENF, the 125,000 we discussed.
Oh, Zack,
you came in real low on the volume there.
Zack, I can't hear you.
What is up with my mic? I'm on my mobile now. Eve's been harping on my microphone on my computer, but now I'm on my mobile. Anyway,
turn the gain up. We can't hear you. Turn the gain up or something.
Can you hear me now?
No, Zack. Didn't work at all.
I right-click on his name and turn his user volume up to 200%.
I think he left. He just left.
He just rage quit the stream. But yeah, so I don't know. Obviously, thanks a lot, Dimitri, for being the first guest, on this pitch session. I know the applications opened just yesterday. I understand. I've been talking to a few people who applied, and not everyone was ready to pitch today and stuff like that. So definitely thanks. But so I understand that maybe you don't have all the answers ready just yet. But for you in the future, and for all future pitches, I think it's good to have a clear plan of what to do with the money. Now, I don't know if it would be acceptable for the community to we're just going to hold these funds until the next round, and then we hope that we reach the minimum on the next Pomelo round. I don't know if that's something that it would be acceptable to the community or to the projects, but it's something that I've been considering this week.
Oh wait, so Dimitri, you're not going to try and answer the question?
I was going to, but then Zack came in with this left hook, which wasn't loud enough. Go ahead, Zack. I can hear you now.
So I just wanted to point out in this particular situation, this would be an area where, is anyone else hearing an echo?
It's good enough.
This would be an area where if the community signaled that it was important, that this is an example of where the ENF, after the matching happened, if there's a proposal, so we've announced already that there will be an additional 125,000 contributed to multiple projects after the matching pool is set, or after the grant matching set. This would be one example where if there's a project that had some minimum goal and it's an all or nothing type of thing, like if you don't hit this threshold, then it's like a huge cost loss to whatever it is. This, if someone was in that situation, this could be a potential example of where that funding after the Pomelo round happens. Is my mic?
But Zach, having said that, why wouldn't everybody then increase their minimum to trigger what you just mentioned?
Well, we obviously due diligence. Dimitri, I'm speaking mostly for Dimitri here because he's been part of the community for so long. His tools are live and in production. It'd be a case by case basis. Also, first, Dimitri, why don't you? I didn't mean to step in and stop you from answering your question. So after you answer your question, I have another comment on your particular proposal that I think is very important. And that is that you give away your product for free. That is a public good. You don't charge users to use the NFT product.
Correct. Yeah. So what I want to say is that even though I don't have a specific answer to the minimum for us that would make this thing feasible, because this is not something we don't make money from this. The amount was 100,000 over a year, which can be broken down. But the thing is, like, it's not like we take an amount and then there's always gonna be this ongoing support and maintenance, and in 3 months this is only gonna increase. So it's not really a linear thing. It's kind of hard to set up the milestones because it's not like it's not like everything happens now or everything happens exactly 25% broken down. This is something where we know over time it will grow, and on our end we don't necessarily charge, and so we're just trying to come up with a number that can seem decent for, let's say, a 12-month period, for example, but things change, right? So like in 3 months maybe we can do something, or in 6 months, or it's hard to know. The space changes a lot, but so we kind of like extrapolated over a year and we made it 100,000. But just focusing on this season, our amount was 25,000. I don't really have a minimum in mind, really. The 10,000 was a quick math based on the server costs and like just setting up. But the problem is, if someone wants a specific feature, I don't want to say no. Like we don't say no. Like Stefan has seen me on other places, and we don't not want to do something because, oh no, we didn't get an amount. We want to do them, right? So we don't want to be restricted. So that's why we try to come up with a number where it's kind of like okay for our team and everyone, and everyone's equally motivated to do the job,
Great answer. And I'm sure this topic is going to come up with other grants as well. So it's been about 10 minutes now that we've been doing some questions. Maybe we'll take one more from the crowd. Mark asks, Bountyblok also received ENF funding, I believe. What was that used, and how does that factor into your current discussion? So maybe you missed Dimitri, but he addressed this topic. So Bountyblok did receive the recognition grant, and they used that money to bring over the tool, which was only on Wax before, in order to bring it on EOS.
That's right. And just to clarify on that point real quick, we brought over the tool, but limited set of features. Anything that requires the your own atomic assets database and your own ship node on EOS, we don't have those features on the site right now because because of the cost that come with those features. So, but we still brought what we could back in November.
Great. And finally, Dimitri, are there some links you can share for people? I don't think your grant is up just yet on the Pomelo platform. But
Yeah, it is not. We plan on doing it by Friday. We have someone that's gonna set it up by Friday this week.
perfect. Okay, great. If you guys have more questions for Dimitri, he's not hard to find on social media, Telegram, Discord. So definitely reach out. And yeah, so thanks Dimitri for coming on and breaking the ice here for the Fireside Pomelo pitch sessions.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Stefan, and everyone else.
Thanks, Dimitri. Good luck with your pitch.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we've got Hernan from EOStarter, who's going to talk to us about his Pomelo pitch. And his pitch is actually a continuation from his pitch from season 1. So I'm looking forward to hear about how that went and how it's how they're planning their season 2 pitch.
Hey guys, how's everyone? Hey Stefan, can I share my screen or is it do we do it just in voice?
You can share your screen.
All right. Okay, so
should have the power there with the button share screen at the bottom left of Discord.
So can everyone see my screen?
So for people so you have to click on the voice chat channel title, and then this will bring up basically a little icon for everyone on the right hand side of the Discord, and then the top icon is going to be Hernan, and you can click that watch stream button there, and then you'll be able to see his screen.
It looks like it's loading, but
it says that you have reduced video and audio quality due to your network conditions.
Trying to turn it off and turn it back on maybe works. Sometimes Discord is lagging a bit when there's this many people in the chat.
Right. I could do without, but
give it one more try.
I'll give it one more try, and then if it just it's not showing, then I'll reduce the resolution a bit. So maybe with 720, this will be better. Let's hope.
Do you have the option of changing the frames per second? You're at 720p, but frame per second.
Yeah.
That's double the bandwidth.
60 FPS is too much?
Yeah, drop down to 30 FPS, please.
Okay, thank you.
Especially for static slides would be good, yeah.
Okay, let's try it now. So it still seems to be loading. What does it say? Your stream currently has reduced video or audio quality due to network conditions. Damn it.
Yeah, I just see the loading.
Yeah, don't seem to work.
Yeah,
might not work.
Try the last one, and if it not, I'll just pitch it on the voice, and then I'll post you guys the links on the stream chat. That's also an option.
Do you already have your proposal? Do you have a Pomelo link?
Yeah, I do have a Pomelo link, although it's not yet the new update is not. It's still under review. The round is under review, so you can all. I'll post our last Pomelo pitch here on the screen chat. Where are we?
Yeah, I just shared it.
Yeah, so this is the latest, but the new update is still pending review. So it shows nothing, guys. I'm gonna stop the video streaming, and I'll just do a voice fireside chat pitch, if that's okay with all.
Yeah, that's good. Go for it.
So anyway, so I'll give the intro of what I was planning on displaying, which is I'll go through it. So first of all. Hi everyone. First of all, I want to start to say thank you to everyone for the huge support that you showed us on season 1 of Pomelo and all throughout, and still to this date. And before I get into what we're planning on doing for season 2, I want to, of course, deliver some results of what we've done with the funds received on season 1, right? So, first of all, we were the top 5 grant proposal in number of contributors, single contributors for season 1, and which gave us a top up from the ENF, thanks ENF, of around $20,000. Now that allowed us to create what we are now, what I just posted as a walkthrough of the first MVP of the token sale contract. So this is the first version that we are is available to test. It's up. I send you also, guys. The link is in the on the Medium article. So it is still the hosting, the testing platform is still hosted at with the EOS Costa Rica guys. Those are our partners that we're developing the smart contract with, and it has all the basic actions to take us from a project owner, from setting up a token pool, setting up the different parameters, depositing the project tokens, and then getting the token sale approved. That, of course, these are 3 players involved, right? So there are 2 end user, which is the project owner, which is going to sell the tokens on the platform, and then there's the investor or end user, which is going to subscribe to pools and then get their allocation. And once the token sale starts, they're going to send their EOS and start claiming their tokens on. There's a percentage that's going to be immediately available, and then there's another percentage that's going to be vested on a daily basis, so they can go in any given day and claim the unclaimed tokens. So those are the basic functionality, and everything is working from A to Z on that very, on that very simple scenario. But it is a huge progress, guys, because prior to season 1 of Pomelo, we did not have the smart contract ready, and Pomelo season 1 allowed us to develop this smart contract. Now, of course, we went a lot back and forth with the developers and different teams to get enough to get the smart contract developed on a budget. And of course, this does not allow us to develop neither the backend or the front end needed, the infrastructure needed for the full deployment of this token sale as I'd envisioned it. But what I'm proposing for season 2 is to do a security audit on this token contract, and of course, to do the modifications that are required based on the observations of that security contract. That I consider it as an immediate next step before we at EOStarter start launching token sales, since hopefully we're all going to be depositing our hard-earned EOS, and the projects are going to be depositing their tokens, most of them for the first time, putting them up for sale. This is super important that this smart contract is secure, so that it's essentially going to be a honeypot, and it's going to remain as a honeypot for those both EOS and the project's tokens for as long as not only the token sale continues, but also the claiming period continues, right? So as long as users keep claiming their tokens, this account is essentially going to hold both EOS that have been deposited for the token sale and the project tokens. So security audit is kind of our next immediate step, so that we can all feel safe and secure about the token sale contract prior to launch. And then I have a lot of features in mind that I really want to get done for the smart contract. Some of them are not only linear daily vesting, but monthly vesting. Other stuff that I would love to get in is project voting for users, rating for different projects, so that we can get a sense from the community of which projects would you like to see us launch first. Another thing that I'd love to develop is milestone-based token vesting. So a project submits their progress, and then they can claim more EOS from the token sale as they make progress. So that'd be awesome to get as well, as an option for the token sale platform. And then, of course, we have to also launch this thing, and it's no secret. The EOStarter EOS account is up there, public for everyone to see. So it's no secret that we're running right now low on funds, and I'm running this a bit, so it'd be a shame that we cannot get to the finish line and deploy our launchpad and see new projects coming to EOS. My long-term vision for EOStarter is to start allowing, first with other EOSIO tokens, to participate on the token sales. So you could maybe deposit Wax and get tokens, maybe deposit Telos or UX token or Ultra, and then start doing token sales on the EOSIO network. And then once we also get EVM, the idea would be for us to allow projects to launch on EOS, but have their token traded on multiple blockchains, on multiple exchanges, on multiple dexes, all over the crypto space. And then what we can do is that we can become, as EOS, we can become this central launching pad for a good, strong technology, which is, I think, our strongest proposition on the market, and then allow them projects to launch their core technology on EOS or EOSIO, and then have their token being traded all over the board. And that's basically the pitch. So I'll open up for questions.
Cool. So let me just make sure I understand clearly. So season 1 was kind of to develop the contract, and now season 2, the first priority at least is going to be to audit and secure that contract. Is that right?
Yeah, well, that is kind of the stage 1 that I'm striving for, to have the token audited, and of course, after the audit, if there are modifications or updates needed, then that'd be, of course, the next step. But
and I'm going to be asking this question every time. Do you have a minimum amount that has been determined yet that you need to achieve in order to get these? To get the audit done, for example? And if you don't reach that minimum amount, is there a plan on what to do with the funds?
Yeah, so what we've been, from our talks with different auditing companies and the good ones, like certainly that we know that a good security audit starts at 25K. So that is kind of our minimum goal, so that we can get a professional security audit done. And that is kind of what we're striving for as a soft cap for what we need to accomplish for the token. If we get less funds, of course, I will try to get a good company to do an audit for less, but security is not something that we as a community want to be lenient on. So I'll still be looking to do a security contract, and of course, further development of features can be done, but I would not go out to the whole community and launch a full token sale and let all of us deposit, our EOS, and the projects deposit their tokens and launch all around token sales without us knowing that this is an audited contract and that we can all feel secure that our EOS are safe interacting with this contract.
Great, thanks for the answer. Does anyone else have some questions and that they want to jump in to ask Hernan?
Don't be shy, guys. Right.
Sorry, just to confirm, the 25K that you mentioned, is that a quote that you received for the audit of that smart contract specifically, or are you ballparking just to get a sense?
Yeah, no, this is I have not haven't gotten a quote for this smart contract specifically. I'm just this is a ballpark of what basic security audit goes for on the professional companies.
Is the idea that you will get a quote when you submit your pitch
Yeah, of course.
prior to submitting your pitch?
We already submitted the pitch for Pomelo, so this is under review, the pitch definition. But of course I'm starting to get to interact with the security audit teams to get the specific a quote for the specific smart contract.
I guess in this case, then, what happens if you get more funds than what the audit costs? Where will those funds be deployed?
Well, we have a lot of features for the smart contract that are already, they're stated here in the article, which are we want to also develop monthly token vesting, the option. We also want to start doing multiple EOSIO token funding mechanisms so that people can deposit other tokens other than EOS into the token sales. That'd be super cool. We want to do project voting so that the community wages in on which projects they'd like to see launch first. And the mecca or the home run for what we want to achieve is to have cross-chain support or integrate, or once EOSIO we have EVM on EOS, then of course allow for projects to launch on multiple chains. Other than that, because I would be willing to also open source the full platform, which is backend and front end, just in order to get us developed and get the platform out. But the question there is if backend and front end development can count as this public good, right?
I would say probably not. Your backend and front end is probably very specific to your business, where the smart contract you're building is meant to be a kind of a general purpose building block that any I guess crowdfunding use case could benefit from.
Yes, exactly, and I agree. So well, of course we still want to do further testing and improvement on the contract, but that piece of technology, at least the first version, is out there, and I'll post also the GitHub link for everyone to see. It's a public repo, as we promised, so anyone can access it and review it. I'll actually be very appreciative of any feedback we can get from the community. Here is, I just posted the link for the token sale contract on GitHub, so anyone that wants to see it, it's there. So this is the first version, right? The MVP. So it gets us through a token sale with a linear daily vesting schedule, both for the project to claim their EOS and for the investors to claim their tokens. And I'd be happy to run you through it, but I don't know. First of all, if we got the time, and second of all, if I'll manage to share my screen. And that's why I made the video that I posted earlier. So It's a 14-minute walkthrough. So if I invite you all kindly to go watch this video and see the walkthrough of a testing run for the smart contract.
Good stuff. Anyone else have some questions for Hernan before we move on to another topic? All right. Well, thanks a lot, Hernan, for presenting your Pomelo grant pitch. And yeah, thanks for hopping on for this first session on the Firesides.
Thanks for the opportunity, Stefan, and thank you all guys for the support that you've shown. I'm hoping that you also keep on supporting us on season 2, and check out what we have in store for the next season.
Awesome. And Pomelo is not actually the only funding venue available to the EOS community these days. We've also got Eden that is up and running and has funding available for people who qualify through that venue. So we've got an upcoming election on April 9th. So of course, if you're an Eden member, remember to sign up on the site to show that your interest, that you're going to be there. And also, Eden China just had their first election over the weekend, I believe. And Martin from our team, who manages our Asian community, wrote up a little summary of the events that happened there. So I'm just going to go over that real quick. So the trial election for Eden China had 43 people signed up. Each group wrote a summary of their conversation. Hey, Trimbot, had to mute you. Each group wrote a summary of their conversation, and each elected delegate added a statement about his or her intentions to use the funds. So I can share a link here to the document, although it is in Chinese, but maybe some Google Translate can get you to see more. So I shared that link in the stream chat. On top of so other than that, we had 6 head delegates elected, and for Eden China, we had Ponj, Bebe, 11, Xu Hao, Gracie Lau, and Jimmy. And then the chief head delegate was Bebe from Start EOS and Start Wallet. So congratulations to all the head delegates from Eden China. And also nice little shout out to 11, who's actually part of our EOS Nation China team that's working closely with Martin, and he's doing a great job with our community out there. So it's nice to see him getting recognition in the Eden China community. So the winning proposal that's supported by the chief head delegate, Bebe, is EOS Papa, and they will receive 1,000 EOS prize matched by the ENF with an additional 1,000 EOS, so 2,000 EOS in total. And EOS Papa currently allows easy account creation for just 0.06 EOS per account. They're also working on a smart contract that allows easy token deployment. They estimate about 2 months until they are finished with the work on this. So yeah, so that's a little recap from Eden China. Sounds like the event was a success. Sounds like it was well organized, well executed, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be hearing more about Eden China in the coming weeks and months. Had to mute a few of you. Mel, Marty, Trimbot had some mic issues going on. feel free to message me if you want to get unmuted and share some thoughts. Okay. Any comments or questions maybe about Eden from members in the chat right now before we move on to another topic? We're up to 49 people in the chat. That's great. Seems to be where we the number where we hang out around the last few weeks, which is nice to see. Remember to write your EOS account name with the money sign in front. Lone Wolf, I see you wrote something, but you need the money sign in front to qualify for the pop token giveaway today. Got some people writing in the chat. Let's see if they're, yeah, you can share questions, you know, by jumping onto the mic or writing them in the stream chat, and I'll ask them on air. Looks like it was just people wanting to get those pop tokens. That's good. All right, another topic that is pretty exciting for the EOS community is the EVM launch that is upcoming. So I don't know if Zack or Eve, you guys have some topics to mention in regards to the EVM.
Continued progressing. We've given away a lot of information already, and I think at this point we're so close to the testnet within the next week or two on Jungle that I think we will stick to our strategic communication schedule, which as soon as that starts ramping up, we're just going to continue ongoing regular communications leading up all the way to production launch for it. Unless Eve wants to share anything, we just had our call last night. It went almost 3 hours again, every Tuesday night. Always constantly getting really good updates. The teams are incredible. Mattias is just a beast on the EVM development side, and then the product team managing the project, just super on point. Eve, do you have anything that we want to share, or do we want to save it for?
And I'm kind of sad.
We can save it. I'm strategically muting and unmuting because there's Jack hammering around me. We did actually one kind of alpha. I'm not going to say what it is, but we did secure the domain yesterday for the project itself.
And I'm in love with it. I will say that. I think everyone's in love with it that knows about it.
These EVM calls are not public, are they?
No. At this point, I'm in about 5 hours of, maybe 3 hours of calls of EVM per day, maybe totaling 20 or so per week at this point.
Awesome. Okay, well, looking forward to learning more when the time is right, I guess.
Well, one of the things we can say is we are in the initial planning stages for a Twitter Spaces event. But we'll release the information once we have the schedule and speakers and timeline. But we're going to allow some members of both the EVM and the EVM product team speak. Eve will speak. We'll take a Q&A at the end. But we'll share details on that as soon as they're finalized, which will hopefully be within the next week, hopefully before the next Fireside. Maybe even next week at the Fireside, we could announce some more information about the Spaces event.
Zack, Eve, Sherrod here. Just a quick question. Is there anything that will distinguish the EOS EVM from every other EVM out there that is currently you're able to share at the moment?
I'm holding off. I'm waiting for you to jump in. I think it'll be one of the most performant, if not the most performant EVM on the market, based on the information that I have. I keep repeating that the team building this is incredible. There's like a PhD in cryptography on the project, for example. Doctor Who is his pseudonym. You will meet him on the Twitter Spaces. He will be one of the speakers. The people managing the product and project are super. So they're all based in Singapore and other parts of Asia. And I'm not getting into the technical side, but it's just a very talented team. And from everything that I understand about it, I believe it'll be one of the most performant. And I'm pushing really hard to get production benchmarks on it, and on the testnet, so that we could prove that it's the most performant by actually showing it, not theoretical limits, but actual hitting it on a. I guess it'll be on the testnet at first, but sorry, my dog's just. One sec.
My dog's got jackhammers. A lot of things going on. We got someone in the chat asking a question for Eve. Do you have an update on ENF website and EOS rebranding?
Yes, so I misspoke last week and I said that the website was imminent. It is imminent, however, in mock-up mode. And so the development is now ongoing. And it's looking more like sometime in April and not next week, which is what I was originally thinking. So apologies for having misspoken about that. There was a shift in the actual deployment. So we were on Kirby before, and we're switching over to just a standard WordPress website and integrating it with a couple of other things that are happening right now. For example, grant framework and stuff. On the second question, EOS rebranding. So the EOSIO component of rebranding is underway. The tentative date for, I guess, bringing up to the rest of the group is, if I'm not mistaken, May 12th is the actual end of the contract itself with the branding agency. And so the EOSIO Plus group, I would imagine, is going to receive something early in May to start discussing. And then and those calls are recorded, so everybody will see that. Yes, Tony. So when the EVM is deployed on test nets, which should occur between March 28th to April 8th. So as of next Monday, there's going to be a flow for the deployment, and once it is deployed, which it is looking that it's going to be deployed on Jungle. Yes, if people can start testing it out. And stress testing it out and start deploying contracts. At this point, it's really developer focused, and so it's really not aimed towards the end user at this stage. Like I mentioned last week, the end user portion is early in May, early to let's say the first and second week of May. So for next week, if you are a developer, or the next week and the following week, if you are a developer, once that is out on Jungle, yes, we do invite people to start stress testing and to start trying to deploy contracts, to start seeing the full RPC compatibility. To also answer Trimbot's question, the one thing that will be significant at this stage anyways for EOSIO iterations is the full RPC compatibility, which Telos doesn't currently have, but Telos is working on their full RPC compatibility version. Outside of, let's say, EOSIO, then yes, as Zack mentioned, the fact that it is full RPC, or that will be full RPC compatible alongside sub-second blocks, alongside a much higher transaction per second count, alongside the, I guess, the fail-safes that we have with the power-up model and stuff, should really make it the most performant EVM out there. Easter egg.
Quick, silly question from a non-developer. What does RPC stand for exactly? I've heard it a few times. I actually don't know what it means.
It stands for a remote procedure call.
Oh, thanks. That helps a lot.
While you ask the question, I give you the answer.
It's Stefan. It's what you add when you're in MetaMask and you change network. So if you are in Ethereum and you try to change to Binance Smart Chain on your MetaMask, what you're doing is you're just routing MetaMask to a different RPC. So that's what we would like to. We would love to see on an EOS EVM, so that you would just use MetaMask and change your setting from Ethereum to EOS basically on MetaMask, and that would be kind of the ultimate EVM integration, just having a fully RPC.
Yeah, so if it's fully RPC compatible, essentially Ethereum developers don't have to do anything. They just basically run what they're already running, deploy what they're already deploying, deploy what they already have, and EOS will just be able to read it. It'll just make that switch. And so it'll be able to run the instructions or the set of instructions using EOSIO and an EOS VM without making any changes. Essentially, that's what let's say the bridge is.
Yeah, so that's another important thing with the bridges. So we have bridges with EOS, like we have P Network, then DApp Network has their own bridging tech too that a project has deployed. But most of the bridges out there are built for EVM to EVM bridging, and there's a complexity whenever you bridge EOSIO to an Ethereum-based chain, because it's a different account structure. You have a public key on one side, and then you have the EOS account system on the other side. So they're not inherently mapped together. So whenever you're sending EVM to EVM, so let's say from like Binance chain to Ethereum or to Matic, your keys are already mapped because the public key is the same on both chains. So whenever you send tokens, it's a much more simple process. So EOS will have that advantage also, is it opens up a lot of doors to all of the most popular bridges because they're built for EVM to EVM bridging, whereas bridging from EVM to EOSIO requires a lot more development. So that bridges is 100% a big area where EOS will see a big improvement for, because you could bridge from EVM to the EOS EVM, and then from the EOS EVM, it's just there will be like a wrapper within EOS itself where you could swap between the EVM side and then the native EOS side. And you could see that they have that on Talos, for example. It's very simple to do. And very long term, this obviously won't be right away, but like ETH2 is going to be launching this summer, supposedly. It's the merge, if anyone's been following it. But one of the things lacking in ETH 2.0 is they have multiple shards, but they don't actually have inter-shard communication. That's still kind of a problem that they haven't solved. So they'll have 32 different shards, and they're all like their own independent blockchains. But like one of the things that's probably going to come up is all of the blue chip DeFi is going to be on a single shard. So even though they have 32 shards, there's a high likelihood that they're all just going to be congested on a single shard anyway. So I think there's going to be a huge opportunity that this summer, if the merge happens on schedule, they're going to deploy it, and that's great, because until they get into production, I don't think all of the flaws that are going to exist are going to be as well known or as loud in their community. Leading up to the launch, everything's rosy. Everyone thinks that the next deployment is going to solve all of the problems. But as we've learned over the last 4 years of dealing with problems and getting through them, like in our community, that you don't really, you don't know what issues you're going to run into. For example, I'm starting to see issues in ETH 2.0 for they're moving to proof of stake, and a huge chunk of Ethereum is staked into ETH2 into a product called Lido, which is like a bridging project that wraps tokens. And they're running into the same issues where they're realizing that how the staking governance works is it's going to be in the hands of a lot of the DeFi projects. And I need to backtrack. What I'm getting to is that I think, and this is long term, that potentially if the EOS EVM picks up adoption, because it's so performant, because you could deploy the projects you've already built on these other EVM chains, that if there's adoption and if there's a demand for it, that I think that we would have a better chance of creating an inter-shard communication, because it would be EOS as a settlement layer. You could have multiple EVMs. Our plan's only to do the one EVM, but anyone could deploy it. So once the EVM code's out there, you could have multiple EVMs running on EOS. So I see there being an opportunity there, and it's not in the roadmap now. It's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, maybe not even this year. But that's the potential I see if we're thinking really long term, is that we could have not only the most performant, but then an inter-shard communication between the EVM implementations. And let me just say that this is long-term vision, not on the roadmap, and that if you want to know like what the core differentiator is, I think that opportunity is on the table.
Very cool. So an app deployed on the first EVM could talk to an app deployed on another one, basically, which is not something that's available on other chains.
Potentially. And that's possible because everything's on top of EOS. It's like a blockchain inside a blockchain. That's what an EVM, the EOS EVM is, or the Talos EVM is the same. It's a blockchain within a blockchain. So you have the settlement layer, then a blockchain, kind of a sub-blockchain. And if you have multiple sub-blockchains within the blockchain, they share the same settlement layer. And that settlement layer has very fast block times, very fast settlement. We talked, it's come up for faster finality that could play into it, improving and enhancing the EOS VM. There could be intrinsics built into that to make the EVM even more performant. There's just so much room for growth that if we can have success early on to show the appetite, there's a lot of additional steps that we could take to really take it to the next level. But right now we're in, let's put it out there. Let's see what the demand is. We'll do our best efforts to attract projects and offer potential incentive programs. Like Yield Plus is working on some proposals for incentives to attract those projects. And the sky's the limit if it picks up the adoption. It's going to be through multiple stages. I think Yves spoke of it before, starting like not baking it into the base layer, for example. It's smart contract based EVM, but there's a lot of enhancements that could be done in the future. And with the shared settlement layer between EVMs, and also with EOSIO to EOSIO IBC being developed by teams like the UX Network, there's a lot of potential that maybe one day the Talos EVM and the EOS EVM could be just different shards, and you could have inter-shard communication between those two, something that Ethereum 2.0 will not have out the gate, and I don't know where it is on the roadmap. So the only thing that's for sure launching with ETH 2.0 is the proof of stake, the new consensus mechanism. But there's still a lot of performance and inter-shard communication, a lot of features that aren't on the immediate roadmap anytime soon.
Sounds bullish.
And let me just remind everyone that our the 3 developers that Eve announced a couple weeks ago, they're all going to be starting very soon. They completed their 2-week notice. They're taking some time off because they probably haven't had time off in a while, and they're making some life changes, and they'll be beginning. So we will have some of the most experienced engineers who have worked on EOSIO, and enhancements to EOSIO can make enhancements to the EOS EVM to kind of align incentives, align performance. So if the EOS EVM is picking up the adoption rather than native EOS, because that's probably going to be the case, because a lot of native EOS improvements are going to happen over a longer time frame. Like for example, the wallet SD, or not even the wallet, the SDK that Aaron discussed in a video last week, if you guys caught it, and it was part of the blue papers. Like that's going to take about 9 months to develop, but that's going to make EOS a lot easier to develop on with things like that. But in the shorter term, we will have the ability to attract projects that already exist or code that already exists with a new team taking it over. You see forks all the time, clones all of the time. So we'll have an opportunity to attract apps, and I think that's the biggest opportunity in the short term with the EVM is all of the code's already there. It's open source. The libraries are there; they exist. The knowledge base exists. If you run into a problem with Solidity-based contracts, you Google it, like you do with like JavaScript or a normal programming language, and you get your answers. That's something that EOSIO in general could probably improve on in the future by utilizing like Stack Exchange more. But everything's there to make development easy and well documented, and we'll be able to leverage that, whereas we weren't able to before. We had this it was mandatory that you had to learn EOSIO and rebuild a bunch of wheels yourself. Everyone was reinventing wheels, and that's a lot of the problems that Aaron's proposal in the wallet blue paper are really going to address, is make it so that if you're developing a dApp, you could focus on like whatever your dApp is. He gave the example of an NFT marketplace. You focus on your NFT marketplace, not on all of these wallet integrations and APIs and just stuff that you don't need to do it. Every project doesn't need to do it in a silo. But that'll all be happening in parallel with the EVM. So EOSIO native development improvements get easier and better. And at the same time, the EOS EVM has unlimited projects that could potentially deploy there without much engineering effort.
Have we seen like do you know if there are already EVM compatible like dApps wanting to deploy in EOS, or waiting for that to be deployed so that they can bridge onto EOS, or is not that something that we're not keeping track of?
We
Well,
released
one.
Go ahead.
There's one, for example, that's been on the Fireside chat for a few weeks called Old Timers. I don't know if they're here today. I'm just looking in the list. If you're from Old Timers, please chime up. If not, then that's one that's in Pomelo as well. If you want to go see the Pomelo grants, and they've been in the Pomelo channel as well, talking about their project. And then outside of that, there are the standard DeFi contracts, right? So the DeFi contracts that are essentially copy pasted from one EVM chain to the next, it just opens up extra liquidity for them. And so those are the obvious ones. Outside of that, then I will refrain because I was going to say something. No, outside of that, you'll just have to wait.
There's the video on YouTube, on the Everything EOS YouTube, from the Fireside chat about the EOS EVM. It mentions some of the things that'll be deploying at launch or around launch. So it's already been talked about once. We won't say it again because we'll re-announce it.
Over than that is even more interesting use cases is for our dApps that are already up and running to reach out to all EVM compatible user base, right? So for example, if Nudex can start adding Ethereum based ERC20 tokens to the exchange, you know, that can potentially be huge for all apps actually.
One thing I wanted to mention from Old Timers when they joined us last week on Fireside Chat is that, you know, they said that they were coming over to EOS because one, EVM was coming, and two, they can get funding through Pomelo. So it's nice to see the synergy of all these things that we've been building towards over these last many months. They're finally all coming live, coming together, and you know, making an impact and really attracting these projects over to EOS, which is great. All right, what else did I have on my list of topics for today? Is Chris still here from Helios? I was wondering if there's
Hey, Stefan, before we move away from EVM, can I ask one more question to try and stoke some excitement?
For sure. Go for it.
Okay, and appreciate the opportunity just to say I'm very excited about that. And there's an idea of, grabbing low-hanging fruit. And so I just wanted to share my excitement about the EVM. And one experience I had is trying to look at, I remember back to the days, apologize for setting the context, but Satoshi said, oh yeah, we've got Bitcoin launch. And then, by the way, you're probably going to want to keep an eye on Namecoin because, our hypertext transfer protocol system with the DNS is messed up. And so one thing that Ethereum did is they went to Ethiopia and they got .eth, .eth for Ethereum, and they wrote up an open source program called the the ENS. And so what they've done is they've mapped .eth onto the Ethereum blockchain, but the software is open source. And so I think that's basically the vehicle that all the cool kids on the block, Polkadot has .dot, and I'm blanking on the other ones, but so for the EOS community, if by means of the EVM, we can take a look at the domain naming system, which is wide open, and there's it's actually the entire DNS has been mapped to the blockchain through the handshake protocol. I don't know how many of us are familiar with that, but the entire IP protocol and DNS has been put onto the blockchain. And so that opens up a world of opportunity for the EOS community through the EVM to use the Ethereum blockchain as a mechanism for the EOS community to map domain names onto the blockchain. So as part of that hype, for example, I acquired .hyperlink, so Zack.hyperlink, Eve.hyperlink could be mapped on the Ethereum chain through the EVM, just as an exciting mechanism to show that we're still one of the cool kids on the block too. And so, for example, I was thinking, gosh, I want to submit. Oh, here's a question: can an applicant submit two Pomelo applications? Can the same applicant submit two Pomelo applications that could be both considered independently?
Not sure if Daniel Keys is still around right now, but I know there is a limit of.
It is 3. You can do up to 3 separate ones, correct?
So you could submit more than one grant.
Right. And so obviously, just going into the test net, it would be like trying to push what I would call a low-hanging fruit to the front of the line, saying, hey, could we start taking a look at making use of the ENS, the Ethereum naming system, as a cool, almost obvious application to be used, be open source software on our network that allows the EOS community to take advantage of the open source software that's already been written through the EVM to trade on domain names.
Yeah, you mean to bring a service like a term name service to EOS?
Yes, exactly. It would be an application that allows registration and use and promotion of keyword domain names through the EOS network community. And so it's picking up on Satoshi's ideas. Like first we need Bitcoin, then we need Namecoin. And we're now in a position, it looks to me as though we can now do that.
Cool idea. Thanks for sharing and chiming in, Jay. Okay. Any more questions about EVM before we move on to some other topics? right. Is Phoenix on the call right now? Don't think he is. I would have enjoyed an update on the hackathon project that he's been leading. Or I don't know if anyone else on the call here has been involved on those calls. Maybe they want to share an update. Guess we don't have anyone
Well,
from there.
it's just all very fluid. Eve and I are on the calls every week with Phoenix. I think Dogman's usually on there also. But there's been progress made. We didn't have a call this week, but if what we're in the early stages of kind of iterating on as far as what the winners, whether it be the multiple winners or just one winner, what we could potentially offer them beyond just a prize. If we're able to deliver on what we're at the early ideation phase on, then it'll be really, really cool and a really, really valuable program to the EOS ecosystem. But it's very early. Last week was kind of the first time that after weeks of calls, it turned into this program that we can create. So if anyone wants to learn about it, I will say join the weekly hackathon calls, which are not recorded, because it'd be great to have more participation on them. Phoenix is carrying all of the weight right now. Eve and I are on there to advise, but other than us, it's mostly just Dogman. And it's really, to make this really successful, it's going to take multiple people pulling the weight. So I just, if you guys want to know the details, come join, because it'd be great to have like 5 to 10 people chipping in. And doesn't mean we're doing it full time necessarily, but just kind of helping out, because it will take a team to deliver this, especially to hit any kind of timelines on just the organization of the hackathon. But I'm super excited to share more, I guess, once it's more concrete on what the general idea is. So not so much the hackathon, but what we could do after the hackathon with the winners. Because there's always been a gap, like with the EOS hackathons that Block 1 held, everyone gets a prize, and then it's kind of like, how does that project go from a hackathon winner to an actual business plan and going into production eventually, or even seeing if it even makes sense to go into production. And that's something that I'm pretty excited about, is building a program around how to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for explaining, Zach. And yeah, I've been listening to the calls and sharing some opinions here and there for the past few weeks, and it's been great to hear Phoenix talking here in the discussions, and it's really exciting, especially the last week. I'll also add too that I'm not sure if you mentioned it there, Zach, or if it was mentioned previously, but the calls are every Wednesday, I believe, or no, I'm sorry, it's every Tuesday at about this time on Tuesday. I might be off by an hour or so, but there's a Discord channel for hackathon planning, and so you can find the time there, and then also ask any questions with Phoenix and so forth. And he's been sharing a lot of great updates there as well.
Great, thanks for sharing an update, Dogman. And while we're talking about Dogman, just wanted to say that Dogman has joined us on the EOS Hot Sauce team, and he's going to be hosting the EOS Hot Sauce on Fridays now. He started last week. We threw him into the live fire right away. Did a good job co-hosting with Martin, and this week he's probably going to be hosting it solo. So as always, the EOS Hot Sauce kind of recaps the news of the week in EOS. We run it live on YouTube at noon on Fridays Eastern Time. And yeah, so tune in and check out Dogman doing his thing on the EOS Hot Sauce. And yeah,
thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining the team, Dogman.
Yeah, thanks so much, Stefan, for inviting me to join the team and to host the Hot Sauce, and also for the warm welcome on this call here, and just in general. I really appreciate your help in general.
Also, I think Martin's here, and I really appreciate Martin's help and Jana's help and everybody at the team. It's been really helpful and really awesome. And the last hot sauce, well, the first one that I joined on last Friday was really exciting and really fun. And I think that we shared like some really great news. It went really well. So yeah, I'm really excited to join the team and start doing more hot sauces. And I'm looking forward to sharing a lot of great EOS news and spiciness with everybody. So I hope to see people there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
All right. All right. So I think that kind of recaps the topics that I had noted down for today. Let's open up the floor to all 56 people that are in here right now. If you've got some questions
Can
for
you
someone.
give us an update on Doggems and how does the Pomelo thing how do the Pomelo NFTs work, and also the pop tokens? Like, can you give us a run through what we should do with our NFTs now?
Sure, yeah. So we're just putting the final touches on the final stage of the Pomelo NFT series promotion. So if you've been following along, you should have your diamond potions right now and claiming your diamond fragments from them. And then very soon you'll be able to blend those fragments with a potion into the final diamond pomelo, which are really nice looking. We're excited to see to get them out there and get them and people blending them. And so yeah, so stay tuned on our socials to get some more updates on that. We'll be announcing the date imminently. We're just finalizing some things. And yeah, so the pop tokens, everyone who's in here, we've got 43 people on the list today. I think that might be a record, which is great. So everyone's going to get a pop token for joining today. And next week, same thing, on the 30th of March. And then on the 6th of April, we'll be doing the raffle draw for the month of March, where we're awarding some EOS prizes and NFT prizes for people who accumulate 5 pop tokens and then blend them into the March raffle ticket. So that ticket is going to be blendable as of next week, and then next week is going to be the last chance to get those pop tokens. On Friday, we're also hosting our weekly EOS Kahoot quizzes, which are really fun. Eve joined for a few weeks and kind of crushed everyone. But now we're actually doing blue paper themed Kahoot quizzes. So if you're very knowledgeable about the blue papers, there's some EOS prizes to be won if you finished high up on the leaderboard. There's pop tokens available for everyone who joins. And if you're not too familiar with the blue papers, this might be a good chance for you to learn a bit in a fun, interactive way. So this week we'll be doing the Wallet Plus blue paper as a theme for the Kahoot quiz. Last week was the API Plus blue paper. And we'll be continuing until we cover all of the blue papers that have been released in the last few weeks. So, does anyone want to share? So maybe a little update on something they've been working on, or something interesting they saw in the community. Go for it.
I can share. The first batch of Pomelo grants have been approved. So if you're a grant owner in the audience who's submitted a grant, you may have received an email already saying, congrats, you've been approved. If you haven't received one yet, it doesn't mean, it probably just means that we haven't had a chance to look at it yet. There's still a lot in our queue to go through, so don't worry if you haven't gotten one yet.
And for again, for the grant owners, if you want to promote your grant to the EOS community, like I said, we're hosting pitch sessions on Discord right now, EOS on YouTube, and then our EOS Nation Asia team on Tencent Video. I just shared the link to the forum in the stream chat. So you can sign up for these on there. Unfortunately, we won't be able to host everyone on the Fireside chat since we're only doing 2 per show, and then we've got, I think, 6 Firesides total before donations close. So we'll be getting through 12 of them, and then, like I said earlier, Generios is also going to be doing some more in-depth reviews. So fill out the form, and then we'll be contacting you to set up a schedule to get you to promote your grant to the EOS community.
And on the grants, I'm looking at the portal right now. Is there a specific outline that you would like the grant submitters to follow? Like for words or are we free just to put in as much text as we want, put in links, pictures, project pictures, or is there more of a specific outline that you would like us to follow?
Daniel, is that something you want to tackle? Maybe Daniel is busy approving grants.
Yeah, he sounds busy. He sounds.
Sorry, ask the
like
question. I got a few things going on at once. Sorry, I missed that question.
Right. Yeah. So, is there like an outline that you want us to follow for the applications, or can we put as many words as we want, or do you want us to limit it? But are we free to put as many pictures, links, or do you guys need it to be more? I mean, is there like a limit to how much information we can put?
We don't have any clear guidelines. We're leaving it up to the community to sort of establish best practices through experimentation. There is, I believe, I just had someone asking me if we could raise the limit because they hit the cap. I know it's very high. I was surprised that that someone was able to hit the limit on the word count. But it's pretty much open to your creativity. You are able to put pictures in the body. I would encourage you to have a look through what some of the other grants have been doing, and maybe in particular which the successful ones, and seeing maybe you can learn something from the strategies of the grants that have been successful. But otherwise, it's pretty well open. One thing we're recommending people do if you're a returning grant, if you participated in season 1 and you're opting your grant in to participate again in season 2, there's no hard rule about this, but the community I'm expecting would appreciate an update on how what's your progress on your season 1 objectives and how has your scope changed for season 2. Clarifying what's done and what's still to do, and what learnings perhaps you've learned through your process of building the first set of features and how that might have adjusted your scope.
And on that, the ENF will be formally doing that function over the coming weeks and months to close the loop with those that have received funding and find out where and what has been achieved and what is currently still in progress, et cetera, so that we can supply that to the rest of the community so that the rest of the community can make informed decisions as to who they choose to fund, who they choose to send their contributions to. And as this initiative becomes stronger, more formalized, then you could see it as a recurring kind of auditing function report that the ENF will be fulfilling on behalf of all token holders. Ideally, this is something as well that somebody, and I've mentioned this on multiple occasions, that somebody would pitch on in Pomelo. I would see that as a public good. That way, there's more than one team doing this, and or that this becomes a product in itself.
something I've been wondering about Pomelo is, do Pomelo pitches need to have like a particular like goal or outcome, or can it just be also just like to support community members? I've been thinking about kind of like the service Patreon, which is used to support creators, and sometimes creators have it for specific purposes, like they'll make a video if they get however many patrons, but sometimes it's just like a monthly supporting kind of thing for people to support creators that they appreciate, and sometimes creators will have like different rewards, although that would probably be interpreted as a quid pro quo in the system. So I'm wondering with Pomelo, I'm sure it's probably been explained before, but I'm not sure, does there need to be like a specific outcome for people who have Pomelo pitches, or can it just also be to just support people in general who are doing helpful work for the ecosystem?
Yeah, so there would have to be something tangible that we could determine, is this a public good or not? So it's important that in the pitch, you clearly describe how is this thing a public good, and a public good is something that's non-excludable, non-rivalrous, so anyone can access it for free, and someone accessing it doesn't preclude anyone else from accessing it. However, content creation is, at a lot of times, a public good. So if you want to support a content creator, as long as that content creator's content is, freely available and that it's related to the EOSIO ecosystem, that sounds like a good grant to me that would likely qualify. But you're not really funding the person. You're funding the output of that person.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
The output could be pretty, there's a couple I approved just today, I think, around, just for example, they've shown the website here. It's public. Here's all the content. Here's our process, and they get into, if we earn this much money, it'll go towards this. If we earn this much, it'll go towards this, and allow us to keep publishing free content.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Thank you very much for explaining, Daniel.
Yeah, no problem.
I have a question. I think it's been mentioned that the ENF, Eve and Stan were working together to create a grants opportunity. Is there any update on the status of? Is that still in the works, and what's the status?
The status is there's going to be a formal article published in the next, let's say, 3 weeks. But if you're a good detective, it's already out and public. And it really doesn't take a genius to figure where that might be.
Okay, thank you.
But until then, we will not be answering questions about it, because we do want to formally announce it alongside other news as well.
Okay, so just informally, could you just give us just kind of an outline of how the concept would work?
Nope, sorry. You're gonna have to wait for about 3 weeks before that comes out, because that's in the pipeline. But again, just take like 10 seconds. You can go figure where it is yourself. It's really not that difficult.
If you want to get an idea of where it took inspiration from, the Web3 Foundation.
Just stop. No, just
stop.
No.
Just stop.
All right.
Just stop. And if people do find it, don't write an article about it.
Please,
let us publish the article when we're ready.
What do you? I was talking about another project.
Yeah, shut the door.
Jeez, guess we won't talk about it.
There's a reason why it had to be made public for a particular function that's being tested, so we had no choice. It's not because we wanted to necessarily.
First rule of Fight Club: no one talks about Fight Club.
I appreciate you guys and the technical requirements too. No, thank you.
Kudos to Steph or Yana who's doing those sound effects.
That's me. I'm on point today. Feeling
Yeah, it's pretty
inspired.
good.
If there wasn't a bug in their voice mod payment system, I would have had access to more sound effects by now, but I paid and they didn't upgrade my software. Bastards. Hopefully by next week. Are we not going to reach 2 hours? Feels illegal.
I have a question. Yep. Because I'm not super into NFTs and don't really spend a lot of time on Wax since I got wrecked on my William Shatners a while back. Do they have like generative NFTs with atomic assets, like with the different features, like kind of like the apes and punks?
Yeah, there's a few collections. The Garbage Pail Kids came out many months ago with a 10,000 set. There's the Finnies, of course, which are on EOS and on Wax as well. And there's probably more, but I'm not spending too much time in the Wax ecosystem these days. EOS is keeping me way too busy for that, which is great.
So we're talking about the same thing, right? Where like there might be like 100 different options for eye colors, and they all have different percentage chances of being generated when you mint the NFT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few of those on there. I thought you were talking about something like async, which is like the NFT is modified based on real world events, which is really cool and something I hope that we can see on EOSIO NFTs eventually.
Well, one of the projects that is going to be the Diamond Pomelos. So we'll wait and see.
I've seen the Diamond Pomelo Flawless and the Pear Pomelo Flawless. It's pretty amazing.
Only very few people have seen it.
It's pretty amazing, guys. I saw it in real life. It's pretty amazing.
This will be a generative. That's why it's a little bit longer to work on the development for the Diamond Pomelo season. It's not your average blend. We can call it that. So.
Yeah. Where I was.
It's a form of generative NFTs, but not necessarily the 10,000.
It is. It just.
Option, but it's a form of it for sure.
Yeah, we just have we gave a break to our designers. Next season we'll crack the whip and start increasing the variances.
If you've played the Diablo, you should be very familiar with the with the blends.
Diamond fragments. Yeah, Sharmona, our designer, she's taking a vacation right now, actually, recovering from all the work we made her do on the diamonds. And also Yana, shout out to Yana. She also was part of the diamond design team along with Sharmona.
Where can we read about how to do the crafting and the blending?
Come again, Hernan? I didn't get that.
For how to blend the fractions and what to do with the kimberlite stuff. Where's that article again?
Sure, yeah. So we've got a blog post up on our blog, and then there's the blend site that you can go to. I'll share all those links in the stream chat in just a moment.
Thanks.
Is .gems by any chance working on like a one-pager infographic that summarizes what's in the article but in visual format?
No.
I think we should, but I think it's just the capacity. So I think it's on the roadmap, but we need to allocate the capacity. And I think once the season is over, once all the assets are revealed, it'll be much easier to make an overview of all the assets and all the sort of different options. So definitely something that we can look into once the season is closed up and all the assets are revealed.
If there's somebody on the call that could potentially do that because you have graphic designing experience and you want to do that, please private message me. I'll personally give a bounty out for that if you can do it in a very
We've
quick
got images
fashion.
and icons on our guide here, Eve. I don't know if you need more images and less words. Maybe you've reached your cap of how many words you can read today.
It would be useful to have that graphic.
So when I go in the impact of fragment attributes, shape, color, clarity, and basically all that section, somebody can make an infographic out of that. I will personally give a bounty out. Please PM me. I would like to see a one-pager, very graphic design, no words or very few words with little arrows and little pretty pictures. I think that would help because this collection is very cool, and I think that would encourage people to participate in it.
Fair enough. That section about the impact of the attributes is kind of not complex, but there's a few more words and concepts to understand a bit. Once the diamonds are out in public, then maybe we'll be able to put out such infographic.
And we've been doing a lot of work on our blend tech, our blend page to new filters and things like that that will sort of help guide users through that blending experience a little more. Although you're not going to be able to see, you're gonna have to figure out what the output will be. But we've organized things a little bit to help you on your quest to blend the perfect diamond pomelo.
There was also a great podcast, I believe it was EOS Writer, hosted by Jimmy D, that aired about 2 weeks ago now, where Jimmy D interviewed Martin and Yana and Shimona, where they spoke about and showed the process and how it works and showed the NFT art. So that's also a great resource to check out to learn if you're not wanting to read it, but wanting to hear it and see it as well. And the interview was really interesting too.
I'm jealous of the birds you hang out with, Dogman. Also, if you're looking to buy some more Pomelo NFTs, you can check out our shop.pomelo.io Shopify store, where we've got some discounted extra supply still available. So maybe check it out if you get the FOMO to get more Pomelo diamonds once they become available. Check out the shop.pomelo.io.
And are they only discounted on that shop if you pay through Shopify, or are they also discounted elsewhere paying through crypto?
No, they're only discounted on that shop, and
they're sold out everywhere.
So I need to make the decision that my wife might see that as an expense for a discount.
But you will save a few dollars, so maybe you can buy a snack or something. But with the price rise on EOS, which was nice this week, the discount is a bit even higher now because the Pomelo, the Shopify prices are not linked directly to the price of EOS. They're hard coded in.
And just for a clarification, I know the answer, but what is found in the Grand Collectible pack, for example?
Yeah, so we've got Grand Collectible cards that are found in the Grand Collectible pack. And these cards represent the top 10 grants from Season 1 based on the amount of donations they received. So then, there's more Grand Collectibles. The supply is larger than what you need to blend them, because you can blend, in order to get the diamond potion, you need to blend at least 1 grand collectible. But we made sure that there was plenty of supply out there for people who want to collect these, maybe show some support for their favorite grants, or like Dario did, just wanted to get all of the EOS support collectibles. I think he says he's up to owning 10% of the supply. Yeah, so those are a nice way to commemorate, the grants from season 1. Of course, we'll be doing the same thing again for the next Pomelo series, incorporating the grants from season 2. So if you put up a grant in season 2 and it's successful enough, maybe top 10, maybe top 20, we're not sure yet, then you'll be able to be commemorated on as an NFT on Atomic Hub in our collection.
Sorry, Dario, I blended a few EOS support collectibles into diamond Pomelo potions. Needed all the cards I can get to make those diamond Pomelo potions. Get those fragments.
Wait, I have a lot of those cards. How do I blend them?
Yeah, so I shared the blend site, blend.gems.io, and then from there you can click around on the Pomelo collection, and then you'll see all the potential blends available this season, including the Diamond Pomelo blend, which you can check out, but you can't actually blend just yet. There's a timer on it. Like I said, we're just finalizing some final tests to make sure it all works smoothly, and then we'll be announcing the date when people can finally blend their Diamond Pomelos.
So in order to make 1 diamond potion, I need 4 kimberlites and 1 grand collectible. And so at a minimum, I'm in Canada, so that would cost me $25 at a minimum just to get 1 diamond potion.
Exactly. And then your diamond potion is going to generate enough fragments for you to blend them with the diamond potion into the diamond pomelo. So that's about the minimum cost required to get the diamond pomelo. You're going to get more fragments actually than you need to blend. And then that's where we allow users to basically choose which color, which shape they want to use. And so if you put a bunch of red hearts in there, then you'll have a higher chance of getting a red heart diamond pomelo. I've been trying to collect myself some rare rose heart fragments. I'm up to 5 now, so I'll be able to blend them into a diamond pomelo that is for sure going to be a red heart diamond or rose heart diamond pomelo. If, for example, I would put 3 red fragments and 2 ice blue, or three rose fragments and 2 ice blue fragments, then the odds of my diamond pomelo would be 60% rose, 40% ice blue. Same goes for the shapes. And then the clarity attribute, that's when it gets a bit more complicated. Check out our blog post to make sure you get enough of a higher rating of clarities to make sure that diamond pomelo you create is a clear diamond pomelo and not a clear rare diamond pomelo instead of a common diamond pomelo, which may be a bit less visually appealing than the rare ones.
So let's say I wanted to build the goal was to build a flawless or internally flawless amber pomelo shape. How much thousands of dollars do I likely need to spend in order to actually increase the likelihood that happens?
Maybe a $25,000 donation.
$25,000, and I'm gonna get one.
Good enough supply to get.
Are they? I guess the question is: are they limited in supply? Are there only going to be essentially 3 or 4 of those out of the whole collection?
So the fragments are randomly generated. So each fragment has a 20% chance of being rose, 20%. So there's 5 colors, there's 5 shapes. 3 shapes. So those are random, and there's 11 different clarity types, and those are random as well. So depending on the fragments that are generated, that's going to determine what's available for the diamond pomelos. But
wow, that's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But maybe I can.
But
you're hearing this live on the EOS Fireside chat. The ENF is just planning on blowing up all the funding from.
I'm speaking on behalf of my own here. I'm an NFT collector. And if I'm going to be collecting NFTs, I want one of those ones that Denise showed me in real life that just looks absolutely amazing. And I'm looking at how much money do I need to spend to pretty much secure one of those. Right now, I was told that $25 will give me, something. How much money do I need to spend to get one of those really cool ones?
How many are those?
It's about 20 EOS worth for, let's say, like if you want to secure the nicest, most rarest diamond, you'd have to merge 5 flawless fragments. And those would be coming, let's say, if you can't mine them, so depending on how lucky you are with the diamond potions, you might be able to get some common ones or rare fragments. But if you want that perfect diamond flawless like you described, you need to merge 100% rare fragments to create a rare diamond pomelo. So if you're unlucky with your potions, you can just simply either buy it from the secondary market or create more potions and hope that you can claim through the potions those rare diamonds or rare clarities to make that final perfect diamond.
And is the idea that the first one who makes one of those final perfect diamonds or whatever shape that you're looking for will be mint number 1 of that particular one?
So it's all going to be the same template ID for the outcome. So it's more the, however, technically, if you are the first one to mint a flawless amber, that would just be a different reporting tool. So right now, the output would still be one template. So the mint number would be according to the template ID. But technically, you could have additional stats to say like which mint was the first amber diamond pomelo out of that template ID. Those would just be additional statistics that nobody, I think, yet offers. And there's a lot of statistics that are kind of missing in the NFT scenes, which is the probabilities, like how rare are these attributes on this collection, right? So you might have to say like, oh, I have a blue fragment, and how many other blues in the ecosystem exist will gauge the rarity based on how much supply is in existence. So those statistics, I think, are not available on EOS. Perhaps
NFT subgraph on EOS.
Yeah, it's more like what do you call it? It's really big, and OpenSea has a lot of the probabilities of how rare is that particular attribute. It would be really nice to have that on Atomic Hub or even on secondary statistics sites, which would be another good proposal on Pomelo NFT statistics.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Denny. You can guarantee yourself to get the number 1 mint, rare, heart, perfect clarity, diamond pomelo if you blend the very first of all of they're the first one who blends a diamond or a golden diamond pomelo with all the rare art. So not only do you have to be the first to collect all those rare ones and blend them, you have to be the first to blend, and you'll get the number 1 mint.
Correct. Yeah. But again, the collection will have various probabilities of rarity. So it really depends on how elaborate the NFT statistics, come out. So right now, how Atomic Hub organizes it is just mint number. But you could have, well, I am the first to mint this attribute, right? That's just
a sub mint number.
Available.
Right. It's like an attribute mint number.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
mint number.
Yeah, it would be really nice to see attribute statistics and not so much mint number, because it's really about how rare is this particular attribute, and sometimes how rare is that combination of attributes, right? You can have I have a rose flawless heart shape, right? And that combination of attributes might be extremely difficult to acquire. So yeah, I think I'm giving. Hopefully, I'm giving.
I'll repeat. I need an infographic. I need an
Yeah.
infographic.
Yeah,
I
this
want an
is really hard to
infographic.
this is really hard to
Dude,
follow.
I'm following and I'm reading the article, and I still don't know what I need to do in order to get me an amber pomelo flawless. That's what I want.
You just chuck 5 of them. Like, so let's say if you want 5 if you want a final amber, you put in 5 amber.
Amber's
Like
the color, right?
Yeah, the color.
Amber's golden color.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just need to shove 5 ambers. How do I get 5 ambers?
Well, you either mine them or you purchase them. So with the potions, right?
How do you mine them? Those fragments.
Trade with your friends. You know, maybe your buddy's looking for ambers. Trade, swap your ambers for their blues.
Yeah.
But how did they get them?
Yeah, it's from the potion. So when you blend your kimberlite and your collectible into a diamond potion, each potion will be able to create 7 fragments, and we call them, like, the attribute is mana. Your potions have 7 mana, and every time that you claim, which is on a daily basis, you can claim up to 7 fragments.
24-hour cooldown on that cast action.
Yeah. It's like casting your potions. And then once your potion has 0 mana, it can no longer claim fragments, and that's when you would use that potion to create the diamond pomelo afterwards, after the final blend.
If I just claim if I just blended my diamond potion, I just sit in it and it'll allow me to claim these diamonds?
Yeah, so there's in the harvest page, I think, Steph, you shared the link. There's a pomelo page, and there's going to be a claim button that you can claim your fragments from your potion. You can either keep your potions full, or you claim it on a daily basis. But there's a 24-hour cooldown on each claim period.
So I'll break it down from the start to the end for people who didn't know. So it started with the kimberlite. You could buy a rock NFT for 1 EOS. And then we dropped the collectible packs, a pack of 3 collectibles. That was, if I'm not mistaken, 3 EOS. You can blend 4 kimberlites and 1 collectible to create a diamond potion. And then once a day, your diamond potion produces a diamond fragment. It's a random color, shape, and clarity, and rarity. And then soon, we'll be announcing the final blend, where you'll be able to take 5 diamond fragments and blend them into a diamond pomelo. And your diamond.
Wait, Daniel, does it matter which of the cards I only have like 1 of EOStarter, but I have 3 of the Gray Mass proposal. So if it doesn't matter, if it's all the same, I'd like to, blend one of the ones that I have more of.
Yep, it doesn't matter. The collectible would have no impact on the outcome of your blend.
Awesome.
Just need 4 kimberlites, 1 of any grant collectible. You'll get a regular diamond potion. If you have a golden pomelo from season 1, you can blend your golden pomelo with your diamond potion to create a golden diamond potion, which boosts your mana. How much does it boost the mana by?
By 5. So,
5. So you get an extra 5 more diamond fragments if you blend your diamond potion with a golden pomelo.
But I use my golden pomelo to get the badge of the pomelo season, the pomelo badge.
Then you'll have to find another golden pomelo on the market, or make do with your 7 fragments. So 7 is more than enough. Each potion creates 7. All you need is 5. But obviously, if the more fragments you produce, the higher the odds you'll get the fragments you're looking for if you're trying to blend a particular pomelo.
So each diamond potion you have will each create a diamond fragment daily. So if I have 10 potions, I'll create 10 fragments daily.
That's right.
Boom! All right.
There's
Atomic Hub Marketplace, you've got 6 for sale. I'm swapping all 6. Actually, no, you've got more than that. Oh my god. I'm going on a shopping spree.
But you can blend, you can create your diamond potion. You don't
Well,
necessarily.
no, because right now they're
Shopify,
for example, there's a diamond potion for 5.3 EOS. That's
the
less
cheapest
than
way
if
right
I go
now
buy them.
to
There you
create
go.
Pomelo is to go to Shopify, shop.pomelo.io, buy our discounted, still primary sale. How much are we? So it's like 1 EOS discounted. We sell it in dollars. It's fiat on Shopify.
But on Atomic Hub right now, there's a diamond potion for $13. That's less than if I buy the Kimberlites and the packs.
Yeah, just a caveat: you need to make sure that the potions. So there's mana. So
watch how
depending
much mana might be
on
spent.
how much mana is spent on that.
What the hell?
Right.
I need an infographic, guys.
No, so you might need to make sure that there's an attribute called mana. So right now
it says 0.
Yeah, so you're gonna be buying an empty potion.
Watch out for those empty diamond bottle salesmen out there.
If you really need a infograph for it, check the post I just put into the stream chat and send a mail with the info, and we will get some English B workers to look at an infograph for that.
Perfect. But I agree with Eve. We do need an infographic. It's even confusing sometimes for us explaining it. But I think as we get all the art revealed, once all the art is revealed in the collection,
But I don't want to wait because then I won't get mint number 1.
Can't show you an infographic when we haven't revealed the art yet. So
you can put like a mysterious question mark.
We're just gonna put a bunch of question marks all over the place and be like,
How many mana does a diamond potion start with? 7?
So there is a filter.
7.
So yeah, we've included a filter in the Atomic Hub marketplace where you can sort by 0 mana, 7 mana, or 12. The 7 mana is a full potion, and then a 12 mana is
the deluxe because it blended with a golden pomelo, right?
Correct. So currently, right now, there's a few 7 mana potions available, but most of them that are out there on the market have 0. So you just have to make sure that you're not buying an empty potion.
Yeah, there's a bunch of 7.5 EOS ones with 7 mana.
Correct.
Do these NFTs do anything, or it's just you're contributing to the Pomelo piece of the matching pool from all of the sales, and it's just cosmetic?
That's right.
Yeah, the primary sale is going to go to the matching pool for season 2. But other than that, it is a cosmetic, and it's a sort of a fun series we can do during the Pomelo season. But there's a lot of NFT tech in this season, so hopefully people can admire the technology for the Pomelo season and all the art that was generated by our 2 artists, Yana and Shermana. So I think this is probably one of our top collections of high quality art and also mechanics, like NFT mechanics. And we plan on doing that every season for Pomelo. Maybe Daniel?
Keep evolving the UI a lot. You can turn this into a kind of pretty cool game if you have the right UI for it. Right now, our UI is very primitive. You can consider this a prototype. But so expect season 3. We'll probably see, more of it consolidated in one place, and an experience that guides you through the process better. Maybe it'll feel a little bit like my Zelda inventory, and actually turn it into a little game, very primitive game.
I have a game we could play.
What is the game?
Who's hiring? Daniel was on a podcast a couple days ago. We published it and mentioned how EOS Nation's been hiring. I know Aaron mentioned how Greymass has hired some devs. It seems like there's a lot of hiring going on in the EOS ecosystem. And some of the first Fireside chats we had, I felt like it was very valuable because it seemed like people were making connections because people mentioned who was looking for talent and then also talent who is looking for work. And it's relevant because just in this conversation, we're like, who could make an infographic, for an example? And someone stepped up and said, I could do an infographic. So who on this call is hiring and what are you hiring for? And also who on this call has a skill set they're looking for work and looking for a project or a team to connect with?
So as you mentioned, we're hiring. We got maybe 6 positions open. So we're looking for help on engineers. Always use engineers, both front end and back end. We're looking for content creators. We're looking for project managers and agile coaches. So yeah, if you think you got skills in that area, let me know. Oh yeah, we're working for writers too, right?
Yes.
Technical editors and writers/researchers to help us with more blue papers and other exciting content.
We got one final question here from Biandria about the Pomelo badge season 2. Oh yeah, that's an extra blend. You can convert your diamond pomelo into a diamond into a pomelo badge, and it's kind of just because we know a lot of people are going to have a lot of fragments that are not necessarily generating the diamonds they want, so you can use one of those diamonds to create a pomelo badge for season 2. And then these badges and diamonds eventually may be able to be used as profile pictures for on the Pomelo app. But there's a lot of other priorities for the Pomelo app that are taking priority over that feature.
Yeah, I posted a question in the chat and about the and sorry to change the subject, but I have to go to a meeting soon. About what funding options is still on the table between Fractally and EOS and ENF and things like that.
Yes.
As you wrote as well, Mark, they at this point Fractally is not asking for funding, so there is nothing to report on.
Thank you. Quick answer.
Thanks for bringing it up, Mark. I did see that question earlier, but we were in another discussion and it slipped my mind. It was not ignored on purpose. All right. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. Just over 2 hours. That's the way I like my fireside chats. So thanks everyone for joining. Shout out to Dimitri and to Hernan for doing these first Pomelo pitches on this Discord chat.
Sorry, Stefan, I can share an update.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, I just want to share the project that I've been working on. And Daniel from EOS Nation linked and mentioned that he would like to see it in Pomelo. And now the proposal is already available, and anyone can see it if they are interested in knowing what it's about. And I will send the link to the chat for anyone to know, to learn about what is.
Good. Yeah, share that link for sure. And fill out the form for the Pomelo pitch sessions if you want to potentially be invited to one of these venues.
I am.
Great.
Good luck with your pitch. And I'll say good luck to everyone else. I think I'm really excited for Pomelo Season 2. I think it's an awesome opportunity. Earn a little bit of money on your passion project in the short term. And then there's even the bigger opportunity. You're building your reputation, getting access to potential greater opportunities from the ENF, or who knows, VCs. The idea is you're gaining attention and building your reputation. Come join Pomelo Season 2, even if you got little things like content creation. You don't have to be a developer, although developers are always welcome to. keep your scope small. If you're an individual, if you have a big team, go ahead, go wild, and get a little bit of money and start building a reputation. And again, there's opportunities. You never know what doors it will open for you.
I like the sound effects.
Thank you. I'm having a blast. All right.
Go EOS, guys.
We're going to wrap it up officially. Exactly. Let's go EOS and talk to you next week.
Go EOS.
Go EOS.